Okay, so InDesign is all about container. So let me just paste a few pre-prepped containers just to show you what I mean. So you've got three types of containers. You've got a container for an image. You've got a container for a text, which is also called a text frame, and a container which is just a color. So there's nothing inside except the color. So if you want to create an image container, you need to use this tool, the rectangle frame tool. Now to create a text frame, you need to go to the type tool, and to create a shape that has a color in, you go to the rectangle tool. So we're going to create one of each. I'm going to show you how to work with this. So let's start with the rectangle frame tool. So I want you to click on it, and I want you to click and drag from left to right until you've aligned your shape to the column. Now, if you see the green arrows, they actually tell you if your rectangle is the same size as another rectangle. Now, you won't see them currently because you only have one. So now you can let go. Now, if you go to the type tool and you do exactly the same, you click and drag, you then create a text frame. And now if you go to the rectangle tool, you do the same thing, click and drag, and that's for color. Now that's how you create shapes. Now how you work with them is very differently. So I want you to go to the selection tool, the black cursor, or V. And we're going to select each of these and change them. So first we'll start with the easy one. So we'll start with the color one. Can you see the fill and the stroke? That means the color inside the shape, the fill, and the stroke is the border. I want you to double click on this little square that has a red strike through. And I want you to pick any color that you'd like. Now, if you click around, see the color picker, and you can move the color panels around. You press OK. And now you've got some weird color. Now for the next shape, you have to select it first. And you have to click on the border because your frame is currently empty. So click on the border. Great. Now if you want to place some text in, you need to go to the type tool, or T shortcut, and click on your frame, start typing blah, 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 blah. Or you can fill it with placeholder text by going to type fill with placeholder text. And it will fill it with lorem ipsum. Now for the image, it is slightly more difficult, but we can handle it. So we go back to the selection tool. Always go back to the selection tool. And then we select the container for images, the one with the cross. So if you ever see a frame with a cross, it means that you're meant to place an image in. So we're going to place an image in, and if we go to File, Place, we can do that. Now I use a shortcut, and you can see the shortcut here on the right-hand side, Control or Command D, Delta. You can pick any image that you can find that you like here, and you press Open. Okay, now this will look a bit dodgy. It will look a bit weird. And that's because you're seeing a close-up of the image. The image is in fact very big. But anyway, we're going to quickly fix this. So there's a couple of ways of doing this. Either you right-click on the shape and you go to Fitting, Content-Aware Fit, which is a new feature in InDesign. If you don't have the newest version, you can always use Fill Frame Proportionally, which does an okay job. But Content-Aware Fit is preferable. There we go. We can see the two ladies. Now you have the same options here in the Properties panel, which is why I like to keep this open. So these little weird icons here are the same ones as Fitting, except they have an icon. And if you hover over them, again, it will tell you what they are. So eventually you'll know which ones to use. Okay, so in the rectangle frame tool, you can also draw squares. Now to draw a perfect square, you have to hold down the Shift key. If you go back to the rectangle frame tool, the one with the cross, you can also draw circles and ellipses. So to draw an ellipse, you go like this. To draw a circle, you hold down the Shift key, same thing. And you can also press the arrows on your keyboard to move it around. Great, now that we have 3 shapes, we're going to start placing images in them. So you can go Control D, which again is the shortcut for place, file place. And I would like you to select a few images. So maybe select both Bay and Jay, Beyonce and Jay-Z, I love them. And maybe the family image here and press open. And you'll see a number 3 because that means that you have 3 images waiting to be placed. So now if you go and click on a shape, you will place the image inside that container. And then you click on another one and on another one. So that's all great, but what you can do is select all 3 containers by going to the selection tool and press Content Aware Fit. That's the one we want. So remember, it kind of looks like a flower. And it takes its time, so be patient. There we go. Now the exercise that I want to give you is, let's start with this image of Beyonce and Jay-Z. I would like you to press the content grabber, click. And I would like you to move the image around. Press the left button, the left arrow on your keyboard. We're going to make just an image of Beyonce because she's the queen and yeah, she deserves all the attention. And I want you to then press Control or Command full stop and make the image bigger so we can only see Beyonce. Now again, you can adjust it by pressing the downwards arrow and then leftwards arrow. Now remember that once you're done with this, you click off it, you deselect. Now the Jay-Z one is kind of already done for us. We just need to adjust the image slightly. So if you click on the little content grabber, you can then press the arrow to the right and maybe make him smaller. So Control comma this time. Problem with this is actually if we make it too small, we will have little gaps, which we don't want. Okay, that's fine. Let's leave him like that. Click off it. Now I would like you to have like a passport image just for the little baby. So let's click on the content grabber and Control or Command full stop. Make the baby bigger. He's growing up. That's about right. Then you click off it, and that's how you resize images in a container. Next, we'll move on to text, and then we'll do a practice exercise where we practice text and images all together. Okay, so if you haven't already done so, you can go to the selection tool and get rid of all the items on your page. So click and drag a selection area across all images. We'll select everything and delete. Start with the shape tool. So not the type tool, not the frame tool, which now looks like a circle because that was the last option we selected. So you can right click and select the rectangle frame tool. But we will choose the rectangle tool, the plain one. Now if you click and drag a shape, and you can draw another one, you hold down the Shift key, and that will create a rectangle, and you can draw another one. And I just want to show you how to distort and resize an actual frame rather than an image inside a frame. And it's okay if you have color. That's totally fine if your shape has colors. So let's go back to the selection tool. So always, once you've drawn your shapes, you always go back to the selection tool as a default. And let's add some color to our shapes, because if our shape doesn't have color in, it's very hard to select our shape. Like you actually have to click on the border or go like this to select it. And this is what a selected shape looks like. So if you go back to the fill and you add a bunch of colors, you select this one, and you select another color. I don't know why I'm going with a green palette, but that's fine. And there we go. So now we have 3 color shapes. So if you select one of the shapes, you can click in the middle, that will select the whole shape. And if you click on the bounding boxes, the little white boxes, you can drag your shape down, you can drag it up, you can distort it. But what you can also do is use the arrows of your keyboard to move it left, to move it to the right. And you can rotate your shape. Now, if you hover over the corner, you'll see a rounded double arrow. That's the universal Adobe icon for rotation. Now, if you hold on the Shift key and you rotate it, you click and drag it to the left, you'll rotate it at a 45-degree angle, which is sweet. Now, do you remember the shortcut for resizing, for making it bigger and smaller whilst keeping the proportion? That is Control full stop for increasing the size, and Control comma for decreasing the size. So I'd suggest you learn this shortcut because it's very useful. Now, another cool feature is the little yellow box here that you see. Click to edit corners. So if you click, you'll see 4 yellow boxes, 1 in each corner. So I want you to click on a yellow box and drag it towards the inside, and you'll slowly round corners, which is pretty nice. Now I want you to select another shape and again click on the yellow box. And now hold down the Shift key because this is for rounding a single corner. So the Shift key is used very often. So if you hold on the Shift key and you drag the yellow box inwards, it will just round a single corner. And I have the habit of just clicking off it. Okay, now I'll briefly explain to you the options bar and the properties panel over here. So here you have the reference point, and it should always be in the center. You have the location, the width and the height, so you can type in a measurement that you need. You have another way of scaling, but that's kind of a really long way of doing it. You know, you can press the upwards keyboard or downwards. You can rotate it. You can flip it. And you can change a color here. Can you see the color, the little arrow? So you can choose from one of InDesign's saved default colors. And later on, we'll look at how to apply our own colors. Now, can you see this bit? That's for the stroke. The stroke is a border. So if you go here, the one below, you can choose the color of your border. It can be blue, it can be pink. And over here, 10 pt, 7 pt, you can increase or decrease the border size. You also have some really decorative borders, but that's a bit more advanced or a bit more silly, I guess. And the final part of this is the opacity. So if you would like to make a shape transparent, you have to decrease that. So as promised, we will look at the type tool now. So go ahead and click and drag around these shapes and delete. And you can go to the type tool or the shortcut T. So we'll start by creating a text box. So you can click and drag depending on how you want your text box to look like. And you can start typing whatever, but because I'm a bit lazy right now, I will go to type and fill with placeholder text, which is much easier. So it's lorem ipsum, as I mentioned before. We're only going to talk about adjusting frames first, and then we'll talk about text formatting. So if you go to the selection tool, you can change the layout of your text by clicking and dragging the bounding box again, and your frame will start to look different. You can also round the corners. So if you click on the yellow box again, and if you want to round one corner, you can hold the Shift key. Now to add a color to our frame, we can go here, add a color, or we can go to fill and add a color. It's the same thing. You can also double click on the fill, double click, and you'll have the panel. Now, can you see the little plus? So the little red plus means overset text. It means that your frame is not big enough for your whole text to fit in. So you're going to either have to extend your text frame, or you don't extend it and you create an additional text frame, which is threaded. That means that the text will continue on into another text frame. So if you click on the red plus and make sure you click on it properly, you can miss sometimes, you'll see a little play button. This means that you're ready to go, and you can click and drag and create another text frame. And then you can click on the red plus again and create another text frame. And remember those green guides? Yep, we can use them here so that they're all the same size, even though the text is not exactly a line. So now if we want to edit the text inside the frame, we have to go to the type tool. We have to click and we can press enter maybe. And you will see that it will push the rest of the text down. So it is indeed linked